I don't remember if I've done a video on this before yet or not, but Tin Can Linux is an interesting project to me because it's one of those smaller distros that takes a different approach to what most people do. Most people go with GNU utils and like add in everything else that's basic, and then like we're gonna make a distro for gaming. But Tin Can Linux takes a different approach. It tries to be minimal, tries to be compact, and it keeps packages down to a minimum. Now, when we go through the screenshots, you're going to see that it also, because of those constraints, it has a few other cool things to it as well. So we can go to, so package management is done by the MOS package manager, creation of the developers. So if we go here, we can go take a peek at that. So formerly Arc is a tiny lightning fast package manager written by me, AVS Origami. It is the package manager used by Tin Can. So we've got our different options, and they're short, single letter options for them all. Let's see, each action can be invoked by typing out the whole action or using the single letter. For actions that involve operating on packages, all arguments following the actions are treated as packages to be operated on. If the alias is used, it can be combined with one or more flags to set one-time options. So you can do GCC build GCC, and then we've got version and build, and the two SYU for a full system upgrade. So we've got the sync, confirmation skips, and the upgrade. So it's kind of halfway like Arch, except Arch's Y is to sync everything up. But yeah, it does a package repo refresh, and then the U does the upgrade. The S is the sync operator that kind of like, yeah, it's different, but kind of the same. And I think he kind of like stole that for that reason. But anyway, see, the package format consists of two main files, package toml and build. At a high level, these files serve the following functions. Contains all the package metadata as well as dependency requirements, and the build is an executable shell script that provides instructions to build the package. So you could fill in your own toml files for different things and create your own repo for Tin Can Linux and keep it very simple as well. So you could have an additional repo for everything. So if we go to the configuration, so we've got core and extra repos, and this, it's a toml file as well, the MOS toml. Add a custom repo to the search path, simply add the full path to the array. For example, if you have a package repository, a custom repo with a structure something like this. And so you can put that together. You can add this to the repo search path blah blah blah, and you should be able to do the following: MOS B package 1, 2, and 3. You've got the other configs, the su command, cache dir, and so on. Let's see. Was there a web URL that, or is it just okay, the package toml grabs a source and a patch that may be pertinent, and then here are the checksums for everything. Yeah, we could dig deeper into it, but anyway, that's something later. The release model, it's a rolling release, so much like Arch, and it has versions, kind of like Arch, and it's basically stable snapshots that as time goes on, so it's pretty much like any other rolling release distro. So Static Linux, it was inspired by the file system. For most distros, the choice to replace user with a symlink to root. See more about these choices at Wiki File System. So Static Linux is a distribution based on pre-2010 plans of the Cyclist project. So it follows Cyclist philosophy, blah, blah, blah. So achieves better performance than any other 64-bit distro, achieves binary size reduction through the avoidance of glibc and other bloated libraries. Everything is muscle libc. Doesn't require systemd. Ignore FHS, Linux, so on and so forth. It basically minimizes on dependencies, and if you statically link everything, yeah, pretty much keeps things down to a minimum. So we've got the file system, potentially deviates from standard Linux file system layouts in an effort to be more organized. So let's see, we've got bin, boot, etc home, include, lib, run, share, temp, and var as our main repositories there, with following as compatibility symlinks. So sbin goes to bin, and user goes to the root. So user typically has that lib and possibly include the share, and yeah, those are the big ones. Assuming some standard Linux file systems, dev, proc, and sys. Yeah. Standard file system on most distros is complicated and not easy to understand. This file system used by Tin Can aims to simplify it by condensing things and eliminating unnecessary paths. I mean, yeah, you symlink for compatibility this way, but overall, it does look like there's a lot less, but it could still get somewhat messy depending on the system. Eliminate run and use var run instead. So that's on the to-do list. So it would take this mount point out and put it in var over here. It would clean it up a little bit, being as most of the time the run mount points are pretty much variable like systems, and that's generally what var kind of sits there and does. You've got your logs in there and other things, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, so yeah, then there's the contributing. So if we go to the screenshots here, we can take a peek. Very basic. So here's what I like about this one. You can see that we've got a very minimal browser, and they said that, so it's NetSurf. Then we've got our terminal right there. First ever screenshots of Tin Can Linux running an Xorg with the SOWM. This is another one earlier. We built a minimal system, but we're going to use... It almost looks like Minecraft font face, but I'm not sure I want to attribute that as Minecraft. But... because I can't get a good read on that one. But yeah. Okay, so this is the first one up here. Second one, when it switched to Wayland. So it's using LabWC here for that one. Wait, smiley face Tin Can Linux. Okay. Let's see, forum, GitHub, news. If we look at the wiki, we've got mostly, so the repos. 3 official repos for it, packages that complete installation must have, packages that are not strictly required for boot, and the Xorg graphical environment. It will soon be main. Yeah, Wayland is going to take over, it looks like. You could feasibly make an Xlibre repository and have it work that way as well. So let's take a peek at package.toml. So we've got our sources there, and then our checksum right there. So it downloads the straight archive and then runs it from there. Make user, So if we go back here, here are our dependencies. Doesn't quite matter what. No make deps to do. So it's halfway like Gentoo in that it compiles pretty much everything, which, depending on the system, can be kind of a nightmare. Well, it's assumed that it would, so maybe, well, it would download the binaries and then install those that way, I guess. Let's go look at repo extra. So if we pick on, not OpenSSH, not Python, NetSurf. Let's pick on that one. So our build is our bin install. So yeah, it's just extract. Well, no. Make, yeah. Compiles it, which for NetSurf, it's not that bad. And then package.toml. There's the it downloads the source code, and then yeah. It does have some make depths that it looks at. So, yeah, if you wanted to, it would be pretty easy to create a repo of your own to point to at this point. Just not totally sure on how you would put that together to download the sources and updates of the repo is about it. But other than that, looks pretty skinny. So let's go back to repos, repo core. If we look at Moss, package toml, build. Okay, so yeah, that one, well, it cargo builds and then moves it over. Clone this repo to your repo directory and add it to your arc path. Okay, so yeah, you're basically having to update it through git pulls is how you do it, is what it looks like. So in order to maintain your packages, you have to do it yourself. And this way, in some ways, does make it a little bit easier. So let's go to bootstrap check, clean muscle. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's Tin Can Linux in 12 minutes. It looks pretty cool. Kind of like Gentoo, you're mostly compiling everything, but the package scheme looks actually pretty manageable for someone doing it on their own. And if someone wanted to create their own repo, it looks like it's pretty manageable as well. You're just like managing your sources through git pulls or whatever else in order to do it. If you liked the content, if you enjoyed it, if you think I deserve it, like, comment, subscribe, leave any criticisms you have or what have you. I appreciate it. Feed that algorithm, like I said, and I will see you guys in the next one.